Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And I wanted to just kind of have a little bit of a discussion about what's going on in the Bond franchise with looking at some of the new actors and how things are progressing. And I've noticed that Amazon has us talking a lot, but are they listening? I've noticed that there's been a lot of rumblings recently about a new frontrunner for the lead role to be the actor for James Bond. And bear with me, I have to kind of just like read the information as I go here. But Aaron Pierre, and I know in this one article it says he's quickly emerging as a frontrunner to become the next James Bond with growing industry buzz and rising betting odds, putting the 31-year-old actor firmly in the spotlight. And in fact, the article starts with this headline, which I can't see how this is true. To be honest, it says next James Bond, 31-year-old newcomer, tipped to land role as actor sees surge in backing amid 007 mystery. So a surge in backing for this actor. Are they reading the comments? I mean, the comments from most people on these articles, and I will say, the majority of the comments are pretty much coming across as if they make this actor Bond, if they change Bond's race, then they're done. Then they're done with Bond. They're done with the franchise, and so I wanted to dig in a little bit myself because I was looking at my copy of Casino Royale because I thought I remembered there being an actual description of Bond, and there's he is described, but here's what's interesting in the description where it talks about his actual physical characteristics. It actually doesn't say he's white at that moment. It says he has tanned skin, so he's got a good tan going. But his genealogy, his family, where he comes from, he is. I'm going to kind of read my reference here. In You Only Live Twice, in the book, Bond is revealed to be the son of a Scottish farmer and a Swiss mother. All right, so there's that genealogy, some of that goes along with the physical features described otherwise about Bond. And there's actually a picture, a sketch that Ian Fleming had sketched of Bond himself, and he is clearly a white male in that sketch. But then in Live and Let Die, it's noted that Bond and Felix Leiter, they stick out predominantly as they go into certain areas because they are two white men. So there's the actual reference that will say that James Bond is white in Live and Let Die. So so some may say, well, what's the big difference? Well, it's here we have an established character, and he's described in the books a certain way. So if you were to change that character, especially when he's already been established, all these different actors, they may have had some different physical features than what was described in there, but still close, to some of the features of the character. But this would be completely different if they were to make this next actor, Aaron Pierre. I'm actually not familiar with his work. I'm not familiar with him as an actor. Could be a great actor, but sometimes certain roles just aren't for um, certain people because I mean, would you take someone for a role of Superman, and could they be a skinny, scrawny person to play Superman? I mean, is that believable? Is that how the character has been portrayed all this time? No, no. Just because they're skinny, why are you being prejudiced against skinny people? Um, so to me, it kind of falls under that way of thinking. Um, if a certain character is described a certain way, you should try to find actors that fit that sort of description. They do it all the time with all the different movies, all the different characters, all the different books that these characters are based upon. They generally try to find an actor that is similar to the characteristics of that character. So with this, I mean, I could see the uproar. I could see why people are really upset because you'd be really changing the character. Well, just reading this article kind of brought one thing to my mind, which was, all right, so, you know, people are going to be really upset if they change the race of James Bond by giving it the role to a certain actor. Well, as was described there, Felix Leiter was white, and for most of the movies, that's how he was portrayed as in the character with actors. Well, that got changed in the Daniel Craig Bond series. Moneypenny also is described a certain way in the books, and uh, Moneypenny was changed as well. And people didn't have there weren't strong reactions to that. So I guess maybe the strongest reactions are going to be because Bond's the main character. So that's probably why there's going to be more issue by changing his race um, that way. But I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of good actors out there who fit the physical description. So why not? Why not get a good actor that fits that physical description, plenty within the younger age range that the producers were originally looking for, someone that could play Bond for a number of movies. So yeah, I'm just my question really is just so Amazon's got us all talking about this, but are they listening? Are they listening to the feedback that's coming back through the comments, through the Bond community, through the fans? Um, almost, I mean, I don't know, because this is not a definitive decision that's been made. Things are still up in the air. For all we know, these are false reports, but we don't know for sure who the next actor is going to be. So we'll just have to wait and see what Amazon decides for that. But I mean, I really hope they're listening. I hope they're listening to the feedback that people are having about this. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about in regards to this, and analyze this, Mr. Bond. I was talking about this, and yeah, it's definitely Amazon is trying to gear things more towards this younger generation today. They're the new audience. If you can pull in this new audience, then um, then hopefully it'll build. Well, there is already we have an established character, we have an established audience as well. We're not gone yet. We're not dead and buried yet. Bond isn't that old to where all of the established Bond fans aren't going to be there to support or not support the character that we have all grown so fond of and are attached to. So it makes me wonder, well, why? Why are they gearing things towards this younger generation that, as Analyze This, Mr. Bond was kind of bringing out, and I thought was a good point. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into this, but I thought it was kind of going towards the point of um, um, making this product, designing it for this audience that really doesn't care. You have this audience over here that's established, loves this franchise, loves this character, and has been just waiting on the edge of their seat for something to come out about Bond. But then they're like, meh, let's not worry about them so much. Let's come over here and worry about our target audience, Yet that audience doesn't really care because they're not invested in it. Um, they haven't had all those years to really get into the character, to get into the franchise. It's all kind of new to them. And in fact, if you want a little more proof of that, start looking up um, first time watching James Bond, or I mean, even like first time listening to like Aha, Take on Me, or things like that. First time listening to Depeche Mode. Um, First time listening to these bands that were from the 80s or 90s. And here's this a whole other generation of people that have never heard some of their songs. Well, these are the same people that have never seen a James Bond movie. And yet Amazon wants to focus on them, the ones that have never seen a movie, versus those that are dying for the next one, but they want the character that they've invested in. So I don't know. I don't understand the logic of it, if that's the route that they're going to go. It doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make financial sense. If you look at a lot of concerts that are happening these days, there's a lot of revival concerts going on, like Billy Idol. Billy Idol is going on tour again. And there's other bands that are going on tour. They got back together. They're going on tour because there's all of us. There's all of us in this older community that are like, whoa, so and so's coming to town. No way. I remember seeing them back in the day, and they're, and you're just like, yeah, I want to go out and see them again. So there's a lot of fan support for our generation for things. Why gear something that we've had and that was pretty much built for our generation? Why, I mean, I know they want viewers and they want a new audience, but there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to do both, and they're going to have to find it if they want the support of multi generations, versus if they just try to please one generation here, they're going to lose a long time established audience that has plenty to fall back on. There's lots of new TV shows I don't watch. I'm not interested. I believe I've definitely hit that age now where lots of new artists, and that, like, I'll watch an award show and I'm like saying to my kids, just, who's that? Who's that? I have I have no idea who most of these artists even are, because I have all this stuff that I could fall back on that I already know I enjoy. It would be the same way with Bond, if they switched things up too much and completely changed the character. There's too much. There's too much for us to just fall back into the old stuff, and this is an audience that would be lost. So, they just really should keep the same type of character, look for an actor that fits the role, that fits the description, and but they there's been a lot of things that have changed up in the movies already. Um, I think to pull in possibly some of the newer generation, but I don't think they got pulled in. I really don't think they did, because most anybody that I know of kind of a younger generation, like No Time to Die, they they didn't go see it. Um, I think most of the Daniel Craig ones, they didn't go see it. And in fact, on some of those reaction videos I'm talking about, first time watching Bond, a lot of times they don't even start with Doctor No. They don't even start where they can begin to build the character. They don't even want to go back that far. They'll start at the Daniel Craig, and that's plenty old enough. That's as old as they want to go, because well, I mean, anything older than that, they just find is just silly or something. So I don't know, but yeah, there's got to be a way that they can get both audiences together, but it means they're going to have to listen. So they've got us talking, but Amazon, are you listening? So that's what I wanted to talk about, and this was just a chat about that, and then um, I'll have some other fun videos coming out. I got some new stuff. I guess you can't see it; it's behind my head. But yeah, I found some fun new stuff that I wanted to do some videos about, and including this shirt that this isn't, or this is stirred. I found the shirt just the other day. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, thanks, guys. And if you've made it this far, wow, good for you. I'm sorry this took so long, but thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.